There's been a lot of noise coming out of training camp lately, and one name just keeps popping up: Jared Vanderbilt. The buzz around him is real. Coaches are talking, insiders are excited, and even J.J. Redick is out here singing his praises. But here's the thing. If we really get back that 2023 version of Jared Vanderbilt, the one that had Lakers fans fired up every night, then people better start paying attention, because that version of Vondo is a game changer. And it's not just hype. The reports are saying he's finally looking like his old self again. Moving well, explosive, quick on his feet, engaged. That's huge, because last season, even when he was playing, he just didn't look right. He looked like a step slower, like something was off, and for good reason. The man literally had double foot surgery. Both feet. He had to relearn how to walk before he could even think about getting back on an NBA floor. So yeah, maybe we shouldn't have expected that elite version of him right away, but even then, even with all of that, he was still one of the most versatile defenders in the entire league. Not an opinion, a fact backed by stats. He was defending 1 through 5, switching across every position and holding his own. But we all knew he wasn't fully himself. There were plays where he was just a bit out of position, where guys beat him in ways they couldn't before. That 2023 Vondo, that guy didn't get beat like that. That guy was flying around, shutting down perimeter players, rotating like a machine, and making impact plays on defense that shifted the energy of games. Now, fast forward to this season. The word is that Vanderbilt is back. Not just physically, but mentally, rhythm-wise, all of it. He's moving like the guy we saw disrupt offensive schemes night after night. And for the Lakers, that changes everything. Because this team has one glaring hole: perimeter defense. The Lakers need a guy who can clamp down on guards and wings, chase shooters, fight over screens, and still rotate on help side when needed. That's Jared Vanderbilt's bread and butter. When Vanderbilt joined the Lakers during the 2023 season, the defensive impact was immediate. We're talking about a team that went from middle-of-the-road defensively to straight-up elite after adding him and putting him next to Anthony Davis. It was that duo's synergy that made the Lakers one of the scariest teams defensively down the stretch that year. And now, with guys like Marcus Smart in the mix, a hopefully rejuvenated DeAndre Ayton, and other solid role players around, this team has the potential to build an elite defensive identity again, if Vondo is that guy. Let's talk offense for a second, because that's the piece people always bring up when it comes to Vanderbilt. He's never going to be an offensive engine. That's not his game, but he doesn't need to be. What he needs to be is just good enough. If he can shoot somewhere around 34 or 35% from beyond the arc, especially from that right corner where he's historically been the most comfortable, he becomes a completely different kind of threat. That's all it would take. Not 38, not 40%. Just league average from the corners and a willingness to take the shot when it's there. People love to say, oh, every offseason we hear that Vondo's working on his shot. But let's keep it real. That hasn't really been the case with the Lakers. When he got traded to LA, the very next offseason was the one where he actually worked on his jumper. He made mechanical changes, cleaned up his release, and we saw it in flashes. He even had that one game where he went 2 for 5 from deep. That's 40%. Everyone got hyped. Then, of course, the injury bug hit, and that momentum got lost. And last offseason, he had surgery. So this is really the first full, healthy offseason he's had with the Lakers to train, improve, and come into camp ready to go. This time it looks like it's paying off. From all accounts, his jumper looks smoother. He's eliminating that hitch, and it's actually going down in drills and scrimmages. If that translates into games, even preseason games, we could be looking at a much more dangerous version of Vondo. Because again, he doesn't have to be a sniper. He just has to make defenses think twice about leaving him wide open. Punish them just enough to keep spacing honest. And look, if he gives you 8 to 10 points a night while locking down the other team's best perimeter player and flying in for offensive boards and deflections, that's the kind of player who swings playoff series. That's the kind of player who makes title runs possible. Because it's the hustle plays, the second chance points, the dive on the floor energy that he brings that doesn't always show up in the box score, but changes the momentum of games. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the playoffs. We all remember what happened. He ended up getting played off the floor at times because teams just ignored him on offense and pack the paint against LeBron and Anthony Davis. And yes, that was a real issue. But you have to consider context. That problem had less to do with Vanderbilt himself and more to do with the offensive structure around him. LeBron and AD both like to operate in the paint. LeBron wants to drive, bully smaller defenders, collapse the lane. Davis wants that short mid-range area, face up, or post up within 10 feet. So when you add a non-shooter like Vanderbilt to that lineup, it becomes easy for defenses to clog the lane, ignore him on the perimeter, and make life harder for your stars. But now, you've got Luka Doncic. That's a whole different ballgame. Luka lives on the perimeter. He's a jump shooter. He's comfortable navigating traffic, shooting over defenders, or collapsing the defense and making perfect reads. If defenders want to leave Vondo open, fine. Luka is still going to create. He doesn't need an empty paint to be effective. He doesn't need spacing in the same way LeBron and AD do. That's what makes this pairing interesting. Luka's gravity as a scorer and playmaker will generate open looks for Vondo. And as long as he can capitalize on enough of those chances, again, just enough, the defense can't cheat as hard. Add to that the fact that LeBron is reportedly working on his catch-and-shoot threes all offseason, preparing to play more off the ball, and you start to see how things are coming together. If Vondo can simply hit those open threes at an average clip and finish plays around the rim, especially as a lob threat or off dump-offs from Luka, that's all this team needs. Finishing through contact, being a target for lobs, and cleaning up around the basket, it's simple stuff, but it matters. And again, he's not even 27 yet. There's still time to grow into that offensive role. We've seen flashes of it before. The defense has always been elite. But the offensive game doesn't need to be elite. It just needs to be respectable. Because when you already have Luka, LeBron, and Anthony Davis generating offense, you don't need Vondo to give you 15 points a night. You need him to give you 10 and make life miserable for the other team's best player. And here's the thing. Darvin Ham never really leaned into Vanderbilt last season the way he could have. Even when healthy, the lineup that statistically performed best, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, barely saw the court together. For whatever reason, Ham just didn't go to that group. But the numbers don't lie. That five-man unit was one of the Lakers' best defensive combinations. So now, with a healthy training camp, a new offensive role, and a different surrounding cast, Vanderbilt has the opportunity to carve out a bigger impact than ever before. If he's back to that 2023 version, flying around the court, switching everything, diving for loose balls, and now knocking down the occasional open shot, then this Lakers team just got a whole lot scarier. And look, none of this is guaranteed. He still has to prove it in preseason, then again in the regular season, and eventually in the playoffs. But the signs are encouraging. The movement is there. The confidence is there. The shooting touch is reportedly coming around. And if he can stay healthy and play his role the right way, the Lakers might just have one of the most underrated weapons in the league back in their arsenal. Let's take it a step further and really understand what it means for a team to have a fully healthy, confident Jared Vanderbilt on the court. We've already seen the defensive impact. That's not up for debate anymore. But in today's NBA, where lineups are getting smaller, faster, and more positionless, Vanderbilt's unique defensive versatility becomes even more valuable. He's not just a wing defender. He's not just a guy you throw on guards. He's one of the rare players in the league who can genuinely guard all five positions and not just survive, but actually thrive doing it. That's why his value goes beyond the box score. When Vanderbilt is at his best, he allows your team to switch everything on defense. It simplifies communication, takes pressure off help side rotations, and allows your defenders to stay aggressive at the point of attack. That freedom becomes infectious. Other guys start picking up their effort. The whole team's defensive intensity rises. And if you're trying to win a title, that's the kind of edge you need, a tone setter on defense who makes his teammates better just by how hard he works on every possession. That's who Vanderbilt can be when he's right. Now, of course, the offensive side still needs development, but even that doesn't mean he's useless when he doesn't have the ball. Vanderbilt is one of the best cutters on the team. He understands timing. He knows how to find soft spots in the defense. When Luka is handling the ball, drawing attention, and probing for openings, Vanderbilt doesn't just stand in the corner waiting. He's moving. He's making himself available. He's crashing the glass. And those kinds of second and third effort plays, even if they only lead to 4 or 6 points a game, can swing momentum in close games, especially in the playoffs. What people often forget is that Vanderbilt brings a kind of control chaos. He's the player that annoys the opposing team, that picks up full court when you don't expect it, that gets a deflection and starts a fast break out of nowhere. He's the kind of guy that makes winning plays that aren't drawn up in the playbook. And that unpredictability is what makes him so tough to plan against. You can't scout effort. You can't game plan hustle. You either have that kind of guy or you don't. And the Lakers do. His chemistry with other key players is also worth watching. For example, playing next to someone like DeAndre Ayton, if Ayton finds his defensive rhythm again, gives Vanderbilt more freedom to roam. He doesn't have to always be the last line of defense. He can gamble a bit more, jump passing lanes, rotate more aggressively, and know there's still size at the rim to back him up. That kind of freedom could elevate his already elite defense to an even higher level. Another big thing to watch is how Vanderbilt fits into the Lakers' rotations. If Darvin Ham finally commits to giving him starter-level minutes, that could completely change the complexion of this team. Because let's be real, when Vanderbilt was starting games back in 2023, the Lakers looked locked in defensively from tip-off. He sets the tone early. He picks up guys full court. He gets deflections in the first few possessions. He lets the opponent know they're going to have to work for every point. And when your defense is clicking early, it makes the offense more relaxed. It creates transition opportunities, puts pressure on the other team, and allows stars like LeBron and Luka to conserve energy and focus on what they do best. And let's not ignore the fact that Vanderbilt still has plenty of development left in him. The guy is 26 years old. This isn't a vet on the tail, end of his career, trying to survive one more playoff run. This is a player entering his prime with a full offseason of health and momentum behind him. And that's why this version of Vanderbilt might be even better than the one we saw in 2023. Because now, he's got more experience, he's been through adversity, he knows his role, and he's hungry. That matters. The offensive numbers don't have to be eye-popping. If he gives you 10 points a game while shooting a respectable percentage from the corner and finishes plays around the rim, that's enough. Especially if he's bringing elite-level defense, rebounding, hustle, and all the intangible things that elevate a team in the postseason. Because once April and May roll around, it's not just about stars scoring 30 or 40 points. It's about who makes the little plays, who rotates properly, who grabs the key rebound, who tips the pass that leads to the fast break. And that's what Vanderbilt does best. And let's be clear, none of this means we expect him to suddenly become a number one option or a major scoring threat. That's not the point. The point is that he doesn't have to be a liability anymore. He doesn't have to be the guy defenses completely ignore. If he can just be average offensively, his defensive value skyrockets. Because now you can leave him on the court in the fourth quarter. Now he can be trusted in the biggest moments of a playoff game. And that's what separates good teams from great ones, whether or not they can keep their best defenders on the floor when it matters most. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, the NBA rumor mill is buzzing like never before. Sources close to team circles claim that Myles Turner, the Indiana Pacers' towering defensive anchor, has reportedly agreed to terms with the Los Angeles Lakers in a move that could shake the Western Conference to its core. While nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers suggest that Turner's arrival might be exactly what the Lakers need to turn their interior defense and rebounding woes into a fortress. Turner, known for his elite shot-blocking ability and three-point range, could provide the Lakers with a defensive backbone they've long coveted. With Anthony Davis constantly battling injuries and the Lakers seeking rim protection to complement LeBron James' versatility, Turner's presence in the paint could be a game-changer. Imagine a lineup where opposing teams hesitate to attack the basket, knowing Turner's 7-foot, 0 wingspan is lurking behind the arc. The Lakers' young frontcourt could thrive under his mentorship and the team's transition game might find new life with his ability to stretch defenses. The buzz is spreading quickly across Los Angeles. Fans are already imagining a Lakers squad where Davis and Turner form an almost impenetrable duo in the paint, allowing perimeter shooters to operate freely and creating a defensive nightmare for opponents. Social media has erupted with speculation about how this pairing could alter the balance of power in the Western Conference, with pundits debating if the Lakers might suddenly become the favorites to contend for another championship. Industry insiders suggest that this potential signing signals a shift in the Lakers' offseason strategy, moving decisively toward reinforcing the interior and embracing a hybrid defensive approach. Turner's reputation as a disciplined, high IQ defender and his ability to hit the occasional clutch three-pointer make him a perfect fit for a LeBron-led roster hungry for balance and depth. While official announcements remain pending, the mere possibility of Turner donning the purple and gold has fans and analysts buzzing. If this rumor proves true, the Lakers could be on the verge of redefining their identity, transforming their paint game, and sending a clear message to the rest of the league. Mess with the Lakers in the paint at your own risk. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.